Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy.
Where you at?
Yeah, camping in your rats and boys out here telling favors. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting no fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. The people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the peak. With little Glock on my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out Mad Chat, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Straps to my side, I ain't talking about no sandal. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and this shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed, yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Good morning. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. The day after Thanksgiving, August 24th, 2023. Last night I was sitting around, bro, and I've been wanting to catch this movie. This movie came out early in September. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked at the cinemas. I looked at the, I even checked Hartford, Connecticut, which is about a 50, 60 mile drive. And, I looked there and I couldn't find it anywhere. Checked out my movie sites. It hadn't come on there yet. And, last night after, it's been kind of funky around here. I went to my brother's house for Thanksgiving and, the crowd's getting less and less as the years go by, and I don't know how you can put it, man. It's a crazy holiday. Some people celebrate it, some people don't. I have for my whole life, and it's one of those holidays where you don't have to buy anybody anything. You do a lot of eating. And, my wife has been recuperating from surgery, so she didn't go with me. She stayed here. I brought her a takeout plate. And let me get a couple of hits of me here, too. Look at this beautiful Toka 2, man. She got this thing crystal clean and sparkling for me today. I brought her home a nice little plate, a couple of pieces of pie, and I was sitting around 9 o'clock or so, and just kind of, there was really, nobody was doing that much last night. Nobody that I go to anyway. So I went and checked one of my movie sites again. It's called F3 or something like that. In fact, I want to go look at it too to make sure I let you guys know if you want to catch this movie. But anyway, bango, there it was. It was released. It was released on this movie site that I go to. It's a streamer. I don't have Netflix or any of those other ones. But this one, the movie, the Featherweight. The story of the comeback of Willie Pep. Let me shout out anybody that came in here first of all, so I can stop relating to this story, man. Martin Dunstan, salute my brother. Thank you so much for coming by, bro. You're always a pleasure to see you in here. Skywalker, my brother. Shout out to Skywalker's almost like my real brother. He's about half my age, but he's a real G out there. Me and Skywalker, we do a lot of things together, and man, he's definitely a man after myself. Susanna, shout out Susanna Moore-John, a proud single mom from the Philippines. Thank you for coming by. My brother St. Cruzin. Oh, I got this thing here, man. I can do this, man. I can stop from here, and my friend Skywalker's in here, man. Susanna, salute to you. My brother St. Cruiser, man, one of the real OGs, bro. St. Cruiser, man. Long time ago, I talked about LSD on here, bro, about acid, man. You know, psychedelics, they're a funky thing. Fucking St. Cruiser, he tells me he did a hit of acid when he saw The Exorcist. The Exorcist people had to be carried out of there in stretchers. They had to be revived. They were fainting. And fucking my brother St. Cruiser does a hit of acid and goes sees this movie, man. My man. 306 from the Sticks, man. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for coming by. Mrs. Just Do, salute to you, my sister. Always classing up any room you go into, man. And of course, Mrs. Skywalker, Cena Martinez. Salute, Cena Muzi. Damn, you know, my mind is all over the place. Rock Chalk, man. Salute, bro. Thank you for coming by, brother. Just Blaze 1. Salute those, my brother. Salute those. My man BVO is out here, bro. Always a pleasure to see you, bro. Thank you so much for coming by. I saw my friend Joe out there, bro. I saw my friend Joe. I know he was in here earlier. And I mean, Joe's such a brother out there. Joe educates me, man. Joe educates me when he reads my comments and then he comments on them, and I'm like, this is one of my boxing brothers right here, man. So Joe, I don't see your comment up there, bro, but I saw you in here earlier. Dougie Doug, man, salute to you, my brother. Always checking out his site in the morning, man. I think you live on the East Coast, bro, because we kind of got almost the same kind of weather, but it's a beautiful day today. A little chilly out there, but shout out to my brother Dougie Doug and the Siberian girl, man. I see her over there all the time too, man. Thank you, cats, for coming in here. The Bud Files, salute my brother, salute my sister. Whichever one of you's out there, bro, thank you for coming by, man. Another cool channel, man. But let's get back to this movie, man. You know, dude. Thanksgiving night, and bro, this was like a special thanks that was dropped down to me from the boxing gods, and I put it on. Got me a nice big glass of water. I had some pecan pie, and this tumbler. My brother Blood Boxing made this for me. Fistiana fights. I don't know which one, but got Hagler on there, man. We got Miles Davis on there. Up top, we got the Toka 2, and we got my brother Curtis Anderson, man. Curtis Anderson, right there, bro. You can see his face up in the corner there, man. He's with me on these shows, bro. You know, I hear some people give me riffs for putting his picture up there, bro. I do that to honor Curtis Anderson, bro. That's been acknowledged by his son. His son made me my logo. Shout out to Curtis Anderson, bro. On this day, man. We miss you, brother. You would have loved this movie. And see, this movie, it's unlike a lot of movies you'll see. Excuse me a second here. But if you know anything about Willie Pep, then you're going to love this movie. And if you don't, I think it's going to pique some interest in you. I think it's going to pique some interest in you. See, this movie is like it's a dude with one of these. Well, this is back in 1964. So maybe it wasn't this one like this, but he goes around and he's filming the comeback of Willie Pep. And it's like all the little intricacies in his life. He's filming all of those. And, you know, Willie knows he's being filmed. He's like, hey, can you take the camera off? But the guy doesn't. I mean, it's like, it's a movie about a guy making a movie about a guy who, I mean, it's just very, very complex. And anyway, it starts off, Willie Pep, excuse me for a second, man. I got a little runny schnoz here. I hope these dollars, I gotta use 2 of these. But I'm going to get myself off camera just to have a blowout here. We don't want to do that. Okay, they worked okay. dollar store Kleenex, bro. Love them. But yeah, man, the flick, bro. It starts off and it shows Willie Pep, and he's kind of he's in with a bunch of people. He's with some retired boxers. I mean, he's got Sandy Saddlers in there, and you know this is not unicorns and rainbows, bro. This is the reality. This movie's in some of it's in black and white, some of it's in color, and it features a lot on his personal life. You know, he meets his son. Willie Pep. We all know him as Willie Pep, bro. But he was Guglielmo Papolino. That was his given name, and he's an Italian immigrant. He's living in a house he's living upstairs with his mother and his father, and they're they're right off the boat, you know. His mother, he's on his third wife. She's half his age. His family doesn't like his wife, you know, and you know, it's like you could see this shit happening in real life. She's an aspiring actress. She gets bit by the acting bug, and you know, she's out trying to get parts in TV shows and plays, and you know, and they're showing this as it's going along. Willie Pep is trying to hold it together. He's broke. You know what they say about a fighter? You know, the first thing that goes your career, and then your money, and then your friends. And you know, you could see that happening to Willie Pep. You know, he said in the beginning of the movie, he said, I made $1.3 million, and I spent $1.4 million. And it's, you know, it's that bittersweet approach to it. And the dude's filming his comeback. He wants to make a comeback. And his son, Billy Papolino Jr. The first thing Willie says to me, he says, "You're off the junk, aren't you?" And you know, from a cat like me, we pick that vibe up. And see, I didn't really know much about Willie Pep until, you know, I know quite a bit about him now that I'm a boxing aficionado with my friend Miles Bailey. And shout out to Miles Bailey, bro. He just had a mild heart attack, man. My prayers are with you, Miles. But I even had a brain fart here, man. I'm gonna have to do another toke, see if I can rejuvenate some cells. Thanks, St. Cruisin', bro. I appreciate that, man. Smack that like button. Mostly I want you to sub to the channel. If you haven't already subbed, please do, because I'm trying to get myself built up where a few more people can get notices and see what I'm doing. You know, I do the on this day every day, and it's, you know, I don't cut and paste shit in there, bro. It's all from my head and from my heart, because there's so much that, you know, I've had a lot of experiences in my day, even the '60s, bro. I was 6 years old when the '60s started. I was 16 years old when they ended. So, man, believe me, a lot of that stuck in the old head of Bruce Gass. A lot of shit that's happening. And in this movie, they were showing Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford's only about 50 or 60 miles from Providence, where I was hanging, where I'm sitting right now. And man, they were showing the '60s, and it was the '60s, bro. It's exactly how I remember it, man. You know, the bars, the same old divey bars. Now you might see, maybe you'll see one of them in the city, if you're lucky. Back then there were 10 of them. You know, there were one in every corner, because drinking was, if you weren't at work and you weren't home, you were in the bar. But there, a lot of action went on in the bar. They showed the dope dealers on the corner, and you know, Billy Papolino, Willie Pep's kid, you know, scoring the dope, and you know, getting more and more into it. They show his mother really degrading his wife, and you know, his wife is half his age. She's hanging out with young actors, and she wants to go off and do things, and Willie wants to wind down. He wants to, you know, he ends up with nothing in boxing, man. You know, he's like I said, he's watching his son fall deeper and deeper into the grasp of a heroin addiction. And even as his father passes away in the movie, and Willie, all he could think of was resentment towards his father for beating his mother and him and his sister. a lot of very, very, very deep stuff in this movie, man. You definitely be doing yourself a favor catching the Featherweight. And he goes to things like autograph signings. He's got a dude in there who's his manager, who's his business manager. His name is I have to look it up now. His name is Bob Kaplan, and he's his business advisor, and he reminds you of my friend Brian Robinson, who's the business advisor for a lot of retired boxers, and he tries to set these things up, the autograph signings, the meet and greets, things like that. But damn, Willie Pep wants to make a comeback. He tries to get a job at a hotel. What was it? Was it the Regency? Hyatt Regency, I believe. He tries to get a job as a manager there, and Willie Pep was a flashy boxer, 3 wives, dozens of fortunes. I mean, he was not known as a stable cat, and he couldn't get a job. Because he's Willie Pep, the king of Hartford, they would say, well, we might have an assistant manager's position in Brockton, and Brian, that's 100 miles away, but anyway. Hey, Johnny Combat, how we doing, bro? Yes, there is, my man. Yes, there is, man. Stick around till the end of the show, and I'll tell you how to go watch it. But I don't want to lose my train of thought here. In fact, I think I might have already. But they're showing him at the meet and greets, and he's at one with Sandy Sadler and Rocky Marciano. And Willie gets stuck picking up the tab. He thought Marciano was going to pick it up. I mean, it was just so funny. And I think I even saw my friend Marlon Starling in the movie. I'm going to give him a call in a little bit and tell him I saw him in there. Ask him what was up. So yeah, man. I mean, he's like he's going in every direction trying to make money. He's in debt. He sold everything except the boxing gloves that he wore when a pair of gloves that he had when he won his first world title. I can't remember who it was, man. Who was his first world title? We'd have to go deep in the depths to find that one. But anyway, man, he had that first pair of gloves. Chalky Wright, I believe it was. I believe it was Chalky Wright, the gloves. I couldn't find it yet because, dude, Willie Pep, you know how many fights he had, bro? I mean, this dude had more fights than Joe Louis, than Rocky Marciano and Sugar Ray Leonard combined. He's got 229 fucking wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw. That's 241 fights, man. Whew. And that's only the 10 boxers. Like, you can imagine how many smokers these guys had, and you know what, and what else they did. But they were just showing the hopelessness of Willie Pep. And he'd go back to the gym, and his trainer, his manager, the dude's name is Stephen Lang, and I mean he was with Willie Pep from the beginning. Hey, James Gutgap, how you doing, brother? Thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it, man. This is for anybody that bopped in, this is just a little prompt movie review I wanted to throw together before I totally forgot the movie, and to tell everybody to check this flick out. I stated earlier, man, I remember when this was released in September, and I've been trying to find it, and I couldn't find anything on it. Who could I call up and say, hey, did you hear about the Willie Pep movie? I'm the fucking cutting edge on this one, bro. People are, there's a Willie Pep movie out there. I'm like, yeah, bro, yeah, baby. But anyway, man, Willie Pep, he would go back to the gym, and he told his manager, he told Bill Gore, he said, I want to make a comeback. And Bill's like, no, you're Willie Pep, bro. You don't want to make a comeback. He's 40. I think he was 43, 44 years old when he wanted to do this. Because he retired. He retired when he fought Sonny Leon in 1959. and his comeback was on March in 1965. So he took 6 years off, and in that time, his manager Bill Gore, he didn't want him to come back. In fact, he went as far as he closed his gym down. He sold his gym. He had one of those in the wall gyms in Hartford, Connecticut, bro. You know, Hartford, New Haven. I can't remember which city, but it's one of these gyms that you walk in and, man, all you're gonna smell is rosin and sweat, and I mean, there's blood on the walls. There's probably 2 rings set up, and you know, he saw the writing on the wall. There ain't gonna be no more Willie Peps coming down the aisle. So anyway, he closed the gym, and he told Willie about another fighter that was there. What was the guy's name? I'm gonna have to look this one up too, because I'm so bad with these names. Michael Seabury. Michael Seabury was down in Florida. He set up a promotional business, and Willie Pep was talking to him, and he told Willie, he says, "Yeah, come down, man. I'll give you $110 a week." And this is 1965 money. This is 64 money. This is probably the equivalent of about $1,000 today. And he's like, "Yeah, come down. You can train these fighters, man." I mentioned the name Willie Pep, and they bow their heads. You're a god down there. You are boxing royalty, brother. And Willie Pep is like, you know, and he's got that voice. He's got the New England, kind of like a wise guy. I mean, the guy who played him, it was a perfect on-screen adaptation. His name is James Medeo. And dude, I mean, I'm checking it out to see if this is really a Willie Pep, or if this is the actor, because it just seems so realistic. And yeah, man, he did his fighting in the 40s and the 50s. He was done in the 60s, but he didn't want to hang it up, or he couldn't hang it up. He couldn't get a job anywhere else. And he went down to Florida. His father passed away. His brother nodded out at his father's funeral. All fucked up on heroin. And then then he goes into one of the bars in Connecticut, in Hartford or New Haven. I don't know why I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, he goes in. He finds his son, first of all, in the bathroom, wasted on heroin, on the floor like this. He sees the dude who's selling it in the stall next to him. Willie Pep fucking grabs the fucking guy. And Willie Pep is a featherweight, bro. That's 125 pounds, 126, 27, whatever you want to call it. He's a little guy. This dude is about 300. Willie Pep he's not even a problem. And Willie's picks up his kid, and he gets his kid out of the bar. Nobody fucks with him. He's like, "Get out of the way, mind your business, nothing wrong here." He gets his kid back in the car. He gets him to a hospital, and they didn't have the means of detoxifying you back then like they did today. You could only imagine what his son went through. He was shaking, and he had the 5 blankets around him. They portrayed that pretty well, and then afterward they had his son. They were interviewing his son. Like, when I say interviewing, I'm talking about the dude with the camera. "Billy, you hear from your father much?" And he's like, this was after his dad's in Florida. He's like, I hear from him maybe once a month or so. Because I mean, this is harsh reality, bro. This is not happy ending, right into the sunset stuff. This is hard, cruel reality. And this is what happens to these boxers when they don't prepare for their retirements. I mean, you're 40 years old, and unless you've got a lot of money that's regenerating itself, that's making a living for you, then the endless club of these boxers is mind blowing. I mean, especially boxers from the guys like there aren't too many Willie Peps still around anymore. Guys from that era. But fighters who fought in the 60s and the 70s, A lot of these guys, they didn't handle their dough, and you know, they end up like Willie Pep, you know, trying to find one last fight, you know, trying to stay with the game, to stay connected and still make a living. And I mean, it's hard, bro. It's really hard falling out of that spotlight. But Willie Pep, man, he made his comeback. He beat Harold McKeever. He was a fighter with a record of 2 wins and 13 losses. Hey Carlos, my brother, how we doing, man? Shout out to you, bro. But Willie Pep, he lived a hard life, man. He lived a hard life. And I think the portrayal in this film is excellent. Absolutely worth checking out, man. You know, just an amazing career. You know, it's better to do a little watch some of Willie Pep's, watch some of his prime career, bro. Because I mean, this was a dude who had it all, man. This guy he would confuse fighters. He just had amazing head movement. He had angles. It was impossible to hit him. He'd frustrate people. He would make people quit out of frustration. But I mean, absolutely a movie well worth checking out, man. You know, it's called The Featherweight. And if you can't find it, go to this site that I go to. I'm gonna see if I can find it over here, so I don't Yeah, I just put FM in my search and it comes right up, man. fmovies.to. It worked for me, man. I was real grateful last night. I got to watch the entire movie, The Featherweight, just released, man. And I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it at the Showcase Cinema. I couldn't find it at the fucking what do they used to call those video stores? They used to be on every corner, man. But it seemed like a pretty accurate to history movie. Absolutely, man. Check this flick out. You can go see it on F Movies. You can see it on Netflix. And you know, I got a buzz today. I got a buzz today from my buddy. We call him Turch, Lou Turchiarelli. He's a former fighter from upstate New York, and he's a former heavyweight. He did some time. He was a mob enforcer, a leg breaker, politician. Real interesting cat. And I had him on my show about a year ago. Real cool interview. He called me up today and he says, hey, Bruce Gas, you know, hi, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. He says, hey, you want to do another show? And I said, Turch, definitely, bro. This is not going to be a dull show. I'm going to set it up for a couple of days, man. Make sure you keep your notifications turned on. This dude's got some stories that'll curl your toenails. I mean, you know, just watching the Featherweight last night kind of gets you into the grittiness of it all, because this is the way it was. It wasn't, everything was clean back then, back in the 60s. It was the same divey places, but nature hadn't taken over yet. The grime of the streets, and it was just a cleaner time. And they show all these places in Hartford, these hotels, these clubs. I mean, different venues. But cool stuff, man. You're gonna dig this movie. Absolutely check it out, The Featherweight. Please comment underneath, like the show, and thank you for coming by. I'm out of here. Salute. man.